everybody, it's Ian here from Hiker's Hole of Survival, just down here with Northern Wilderness Bushcraft. I'm setting myself a new camp. I picked this area here, as you can see. It's nice and quiet out the way. 4 trees here, one here, one here, one there. That one's actually snapped off at the top, but I've checked it and it's really good. It's still good and strong. It must have been a very strong wind that brought that down. So I'll be able to put my hammock up there for now, but I'll move position. I've got these trees here as well for putting the hammock up. I'm just busy building myself a little seat. I've got myself an old birch tree. That's the top of that tree actually. I've got myself a birch tree here, and I'm busy just cleaning it up. The reason why I'm cleaning it up, taking the bark off, if you look here, see there, I've got a grub in my hand there. Don't know if you can see a little grub. I'm not sure what grub that is, mate, so I can't tell you, but there it is there anyway. Okay, the reason why I'm taking the bark off the tree, what I've learned recently is that a lot of trees, when they die and they start to rot, a lot of the grubs and the parasites and stuff, they like to get in between the bark and the wood. So if you want your wood to last longer, if you want to make some wooden benches, seat benches, that sort of thing, it's best to take the bark off. So I'm stripping this one of bark. It's been lying here a while. It was down last year when I first started coming here, and it has rotted a bit, but I'm taking the bark off, taking the punk wood off and getting to the good wood. And it stops the parasites like getting in between the bark and the wood sort of thing, you know, and that's how it all starts, like when I start chewing it. So I'm hoping by taking this bark off, it's going to last a lot longer. And I've got to admit the bark is really rotten as well. The sort of inner of the bark is turned more like a soil. It's really rotten, like, so I wouldn't want to sit on that anyway, to tell you the truth. But I'm going to clean it up, and hopefully I'll get the season out of it. Obviously, you know, if I have to replace it next year, I'll just get another deadfall. But it should give us a nice comfortable dry seat to get us through the rest of the year. Now I'm just going to leave it at that. This has turned out, this log, to be a lot more punkish than I expected. There is a bit of firm wood there that I've got to, but I'm going to peg it so it doesn't move down the hill or anything when I sit on it. I am on a slight slope, and I'm going to put a little irrigation ditch on the back, because like on the back where my hammock's going to be, I need to clear up this area here where these dead trees and that are behind, where my little dog's lying there bored out of her brains, a poor bugger. She wants to go for a walk. Oh, my ears are just picked up when I mentioned the word walk. But the ground's a little bit soft here to the side as well. Just around here it's a bit cloudy. But what I'll do is on the back of here, I'll fetch a little irrigation ditch down here, just to about this point here, and we was just past it. And what I'll do the same on the end, so it goes around there as well. And what that'll do is it'll any water that comes down the hill, when it's really wet and coming down heavy, it'll stop the water saturating this area where my little camp's going to be. And it is pretty dry in the main area itself. It's just to the side where it's damp there, but I'm hoping that it's going to dry that out. It will dry out soon because the spring's coming in, and the summer's coming up next, so hopefully next winter it won't get as bad as that if I just keep a little irrigation ditch nice and clear around there, you know. But I've got myself a little seat there. It should last us a few months. I'll have to replace that before long. It's a bit too far gone, but never mind. It's just what's lying around, making use of the deadfall and stuff like that. You can only just use what you can find, you know. You can't just go cutting down trees and stuff. So it'll last us a few months. I need to go get a few woods to build up my fire reflector now. I'm going to build a new fire reflector. So need to get that sorted. It's only 12:25, so it doesn't get dark till, well, 6 o'clock. No, so I've got all day to do it. Anyway, let's go get some wood for the fire reflector. A couple of journeys of mine that's really across the other side of the field, so I'm going to be a bit cheesed off by the time I'm finished. Just here, collecting a little bit of birch wood in this area. There's a bit of it lying around. The lads have been up here sort of gathering up lots of dead wood which came down. Somebody built a camp here not long ago and he didn't quite get what the bushcraft school is all about, and he kind of built a medieval fort. But anyway, that's all been cleared up, and they took a load of wood over there for the school yesterday. Put it all on a trailer. It was bloody pouring down by the time we got back over there, so we just left it there, and at the next month people will be building some stuff with it. I've come across here anyway to get some wood for my new fire reflector, and as you can see there I'm just putting a few pieces together that I can use, and just cut them down to size for the size I want. And anyway, I better get moving because I've got to get over there, come back and collect a little bit more. I don't know who the guy is who just one second, built this fortress thing, but he was supposed to be a bushcraft guy, but just to show you what he did, he's used a lot of cable ties and stuff, and basically all that is like contamination to the land. It's just plastic now. It's, you know, it takes years for that to rot. It's all going to have to be cleared away, and that's what Northern Wilderness, that's not what Northern Wilderness bushcraft is about. It's about bushcraft, you know what I mean? They use natural cordage and stuff like that. You can look at some of their shelters, they don't do that sort of thing. I don't do it. I don't like doing it. As time goes by, learning for myself, and I'm also seeing what other people are doing, and I'm adapting some of my own ideas to it. But I'm like that, I'm kind of like engineering, I've got a very engineering mind, I should say, believe it or not. But anyway, what not to do when you come to Northern Wilderness bushcraft. Just getting the second batch here. There's my logs there, and what they're for is it's a few more for the reflector itself, for the wall, and also I've got some legs for the posts to put in, and then I'll use some natural cordage to tie the whole thing together. So I just need to get back, process these ones, cut them to finish off the building of the actual heat reflector, and then I need to go sort myself some natural cordage out and get it all put together. Right, there's my new heat reflector. There's a couple of gaps in there, but that's okay. The idea is just to build a wall, and what it'll do is it'll sort of throw the heat back towards you. The canopy of my top, when I put my top up on the night times when I come here, it'll be coming out because it's a 3 metre top, so it's going to come out like 1.5 metres from the centre, which means it's going to be just sitting over the top of it, so when it's wet I'll be able to keep myself nice and dry. And also what the wall does as well, the firewall, it can draw the smoke away from you, because it causes like a neutral air area. This is why when you're sitting, I forgot what they call it now, I'll have to look it up, but when you when you're standing next to a fire and the smoke comes towards you, it's because it causes a neutral air zone, and it draws air in towards you, sort of thing. Basically you have a magnet air, simple as that. Not only that, it's the wind when it's coming like from the north of the wood, like from the north, it's going to help break some of the wind down and stop it blowing hot ashes and embers and stuff like that towards us. I've still got to dig my little fire pit in front of it though. Oops, get that focused. I've still got to get the fire pit dug there, and I'm going to dig it down to the clay, because if I want to go collect rocks and anything for a base, I've got to go down near the river, and it's bloody miles away. Then I've got to dry the stones out and everything slowly, and it's just a bit of a task, and I want to try and use this at the weekend if I can. So need to go get some natural cord now. I'm just going to use some of this creeping vine for now, and I might use 1 or 2 roots as well. But, just whatever I can grab a hold of for now, and when the spring comes I'm going to make myself some cordage with some nettles. Well, the spring's here now actually, but what I mean is when the nettles have came up, I'm going to do myself some cordage with some nettles as well, and give that one a go and see how it works out. I've tried it before, just like made a small length about 12 inches long. It is a bit of a slow process, but I'm going to see how that works out anyway. I've actually exposed a little bit of root here when I was doing the fire pit. Nice root system, and I'm actually using it for tying up the heat reflector. It's not the strongest of cordage, but it'll do for now. And a bit later in the spring I'm going to make some nettle cordage. I'm also going down to Scunthorpe in May. I've got a thing on there called the Bug Out Weekend for bug out survivalists, and there's a lot of willow tree down there where I'm going, so I'm going to get some willow bark and make some willow cordage as well. So I'll be able to do a few things with that back here, do a few demos on it and stuff. But right now this is just a root off the creeping vine. I've just dug it out the ground, took it out of the ground. That one snapped. Never mind, do it again. It'll do for now. It's just to give it a little bit of support. The whole thing itself's pretty sturdy anyway, like, so it's good enough, you know. The last one that I built further up, that one seemed to hold out pretty well. It's still standing actually. I've took a couple of logs out of there because I actually put them into season and I actually want them to make half boards with for fire by friction, and I thought it would be a good way during the winter for them to season in a fire reflector and a heat reflector. So looks like it's worked pretty well actually. But wrapping this round, taking it through half a dozen times, just putting a little bit of tension on each time it goes through, not enough to snap it, but it'll dry out and eventually it'll just hold in place and give this heat reflector a little bit of stability. Right, to show you what I've been doing today, here we go. There's my heat reflector. And I built myself a pit in front of it, small pit. I've gone down a little bit. What I've done here on the side, because it's clear underneath, the actual peat and all the dead leaves and everything, all the foliage on top, like the compost, that's only like a few inches thick, about 4 inches or so. So I've dug down to the clay and I've packed a little clay up against the back there, so as not to just set fire to the wood. But I've left a little channel here coming out the side. If I pull back a bit, you'll see a little channel. The reason why I've done that is just in case it pours down and it stops it filling up with water, you know. But my tarp itself, here's the two trees here, and my tarp itself will actually come to the front of the fire, so then the fire will just be on the outside of it, you know. But once I process myself a few of the logs that I had left over, I'll be able to use them on my next camp. So next time I come here camping, there's a log that I cleaned up for it. See, I need to get a few pegs in the front of there just to stop it kind of rolling down the hill. It shouldn't go anywhere, like. But got myself a nice little camp set up here. I've had a good day today, enjoyed myself. Dog's starting to look a bit bored now, waiting for the poor little thing. Look at her. Oh, who's a good girl? Oh, poor thing. Might be getting ready to go home now. Yep, I was walking through the wood earlier. I've got something in my eye. I was walking through the wood earlier, going to get some vine, and there's some water trickling away. I was wondering what it was, and I found this. There you go, coming out of the ground. So I've dug it down about a foot, and it is actually coming out of the ground. Where it actually originates from, I don't know. It seems to have like a white haziness about it, so there's a good chance that's coming from a mine. I did ask Steve if there's any mines around here, and he said there are some mines close to here. Where I live, there's actually some coal mines, old coal mines, and they fill up with water. And when it's really heavy wet, you get this white water that comes out and runs down the rivers through the wood and stuff. And they've been there for years. The rivers and the springs have been there for years. But with the mines themselves, when they get a lot of pressure, the water pushes up into these springs and that. And this is what happens. Like, so whether that's drinkable or not, I don't know. They can try it, have it tested. But looking at it, I don't think I would touch it myself. But it does actually run down close to the side of my camp that I've just set up there. And it's okay though, it's not a problem. I like the sound of trickling water because I'm going to build myself a little irrigation ditch just along the side of it, because down here it is actually quite soft ground. So if I put a little ditch, there's like the fire reflector, and if I put a little ditch coming down the side of there, it stops it getting too wet around the area, you know. But I'm quite happy with today's proceedings, and it's time to head off home because I'm not actually camping tonight. I just came along to get a few things done, and I'm looking forward to using this next weekend, hopefully. Anyway, my name's Ian Cotter, this is Hiker's Hall of Survival, and I am at Northern Wilderness Bushcraft School. So if you just want to have a look along, have a look it up, Northern Wilderness Bushcraft. And got some good instructors and that there. But that's where I am today. And until next time, stay safe.